My girlfriend convinced me to stop cleaning up around the house for a week. What I discovered about my roommates shocked me to the core. I have been roommates with the same people in a house for over 3 years now. During that entire time, I have done the majority of the chores. I do all the dishes, take care of the yard, unload their laundry from the washer or dryer, and even clean up after 2 of my roommates' dogs that pee on the floor at least twice a day each. The thing is, I like a clean house, and don't mind doing other people's chores as it makes me feel good knowing that I'm helping someone. The only time it really bugged me was when they had guests over and didn't invite me, but I ended up cleaning up after them the next day. Altogether, I never thought it was a big deal, and tended to ignore what was going on. Then about 3 months ago, I got a girlfriend and I've had her over a few times since we got together. After the 5th or 6th visit, she asked to talk to me privately, so we went for a walk. She told me straight up she thought I was being taken advantage of, that she saw how much work I did around the house, and how little they did. She always wondered why I was tired all the time, but after watching me clean up after 3 people and their pets, while working a full-time job was insane. I told her I didn't do that much, and they help sometimes, so she made a bet with me. She said I should go for 1 week, doing nothing but cleaning up after myself. If everything is fine, she would apologize, but she told me she didn't think that would be the case. I agreed with her, since she had helped me so much already with self-confidence, and figured this might help me as well. By the end, it opened my eyes, that's for sure. During the first day, nothing was all that different, just a few puddles of pee. By the second day, there were chewed up markers and a game controller all over the living room, since no one had put them away. The third day, we ran out of dishes. By the fourth, you couldn't walk anywhere in the house without stepping on piss or poop from the dogs, who went everywhere. My roommates with dogs actually talked to me, to ask if I knew if they were sick or something, and told me their dogs had never peed or pooped around the house before. Why were they doing it so much all of a sudden? Then they still didn't even clean any of it up. They didn't think to take their dogs to the vet. They just locked the dogs in the backyard all day. I ended up just cleaning the floor up, because I couldn't handle the smell, only to discover the litter box for my third roommate's cat hadn't been cleaned up either. By the end of the week, I was going crazy by how dirty the place was. My girlfriend came over, and said I looked more like a wreck than the house did. I truly didn't realize how little the others did until the end of that week. I felt used and like a bad person, because maybe it was my fault for not giving them the chance to clean up before, so now they didn't think they had to. My girlfriend said that I either needed to talk to them about everything, or move out, because these people would just keep using me. I told her I didn't want to just abandon them, that they needed help and I couldn't leave them without a 4th person helping with rent. She told me they were full-grown adults that should know how to take care of themselves already. All of us are in our late 20s. She asked me to share with her other occasions I could think of where I did everything, even if I didn't think it was a big deal. It ended up being a long talk as I found I couldn't stop listing things to her, how they ate my leftovers for things I bought or cooked, or they just straight up used my food that I paid for, that I get a headache from smoke, and asked them to only smoke outside but they constantly smoked inside instead. One time one of the dogs ran away, and I called to tell my roommate about his dog, and he just told me not to worry about it and that he'd come back eventually. I spent 4 hours walking around, looking for him. Turns out some random family found him walking along over 4 miles away. The family put up signs for found dog and my roommate happened to see one. He got lucky. Then I ended up fixing the hole in the fence that he had used to escape. By the end I was crying, and my girlfriend apologized if she did something wrong by making me realize all of this, and offered to let me stay at her place until I could find a new one if I wanted to move out. I didn't know what to do, as I felt like it was too early in our relationship to live together, but now that I know how much I've been put through, I feel so used and don't want to stay in this house a second longer. I decided to have a sit-down talk with all of my roommates, and explained how during the last week, I just stopped doing everything to see how awful the place would get without me, that I had been cleaning up for them all for 3 years. One of my roommates actually got angry with me, saying I had no right to allow the house to get dirty when I'd been doing it for so long. The other 2 apologized, and asked what they could start to do to help around the house. I told them to walk your dogs, clean your cat's litter box, feed your animals on a normal schedule, and remember your clothes in the washer or dryer. Maybe clean up the kitchen after they cook, or at least soak a burnt pan in water instead of leaving it on the stove. I went on a tiny rant, when they interrupted me to say that they did do all of those things, and that I just took it upon myself to do it before they could. I told them this week is proof that isn't true. They all said I needed to calm down, and was freaking out over something that isn't that big of a deal. I told them it felt like a big deal to me. Multiple times during the discussion I felt like just curling up into a ball and giving up, but for once I just wanted to stand up for myself. I told them I was moving out, right away. They said because I didn't give them enough time to even try to find a replacement roommate, I should at least help them with rent until they find someone else. I told them what my girlfriend had told me, consider that money paid in full, for being your housekeeper for the last 3 years.